Hello friends, thank you for joining Yoga with Lucy. Today I wanted to continue on with building a strong foundation, part 2. I wanted to focus on our breath and our joint health. So we're going to start on our backs today. So if you can find a comfortable position, I will meet you there. You can take a blanket and roll it up and put it underneath the knees. You can also come into what's called a constructive rest pose, where you're on your back, the knees, or the legs are bent, the knees shining up to the sky, the knees coming together. Whatever you find, go ahead and settle in. Start to quiet the mind, quiet the body. If it feels safe, having a soft gaze down, or maybe even closing the eyes. If you're feeling restless or a little fidgety, you try placing a hand on the belly, a hand on the chest. A lot of times that can help calm you. I recently read, I don't know if it's true or not because it was on social media, but by placing a hand or both hands on the chest, lights up the same part of the brain on imaging as when you're given a hug. So you're essentially giving yourself a hug by placing the hand on your chest. I like to believe that. That's sweet. So start breathing and softening. Let's take a breath together. Pull the breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out. One more, because that felt nice. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Continuing to breathe on your own. Noticing where the breath lands in the body. If you feel it in the chest area, perhaps lengthen the inhale and extend the exhale. By doing these slow breaths, it helps calm the mind, calm the body. It tells the body it's safe to relax, to let go. By practicing our breath on our mat, it teaches us that when we're out in real life situations, whether it's stressful or overwhelming, the breath comes almost naturally. That when we're faced with these situations in our day-to-day, to stop and take a slow breath. And as you finish that last round of breath, pulling the knees in towards the chest, maybe lifting the nose up towards the knees, stretching out the back of the neck, and returning the head down to the mat, releasing the left leg, holding on to the right, and when you're ready, extending the leg up to the sky, maybe even interlacing the fingers behind that thigh. Leg doesn't have to be straight, it's your version of straight. Maybe you want to incorporate some movement, bending and straightening the knee, or pointing and flexing the foot, rotating in one direction and then the other. However you want to find movement in that leg. Or maybe you just want to sit in stillness. We'll take the next couple of rounds of breath to explore that leg. See what feels nice. Go ahead and take a breath together. Inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, bending the knee, right hand to the knee, guiding it around in circles like you're stirring the pot, warming up that hip. Take it in one direction and then the other direction. And as you finish up that last circle, pulling both knees in towards the chest, nose to knees, engaging the abs, warming up the core. Let's take a breath together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Return the head to the mat, releasing the right leg, holding on to the left. When you're ready, extending it up to the sky. Maybe interlacing the fingers behind that thigh. Again, your version of straight. And think about what your body wants. Does it want movement? Does it want stillness? Does it want to bend the knee or rotate the ankle? Does it want to flex the foot? And take the next couple rounds of breath, exploring what you want to feel on this leg. Let's go ahead and take an inhale together. And exhale, bring the knee back into the chest. Let's bring both knees into the chest. Rock it side to side. And finding stillness. Maybe you want to do some hip circles on this left side, left hand, left knee. Stirring the pot in one direction and then the opposite direction. And finding stillness, pulling both knees into the chest, nose to knees, pulling the belly button in. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, return the head down to the earth. Let's rock and roll our way up to a seated position. If that doesn't feel nice, maybe you want to roll to the side and push yourself up. Coming to sit in a comfortable seat. Hands on the outside of the hips, tented fingers pressing into the mat. Spine nice and tall, open the chest, lift the gaze. Bringing the gaze out front. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Lift out of the waist. Exhale, take it to your right. Left hand on outside of that right knee. Right hand behind the body. Sitting up nice and tall. As you inhale, think about creating space in the spine. And as you exhale, maybe allowing the body to deepen in your twist. It's important to move the spine in all directions. It keeps us mobile, keeps us flexible. Let's take one more breath. And inhale that right arm up to the sky and over to the left. Left hand still on the right knee. Take a breath. And as you exhale, dropping the hand down to the opposite knee, doming the upper back. Bringing the chin to the chest, staying for an inhale. As you exhale, releasing the hands, option to hug. Bringing the forearms together. Or maybe fully twisting the forearms, bringing the palms together. Inhale, lifting the elbows wherever you're at. Lifting the gaze, baby back bend in that spine. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Stay for an inhale and an exhale. As you inhale, untwisting, spread the wings. Bring them up overhead. Lift out of the waist. Exhale. Taking it left. Right hand on the left knee. Left hand behind the body. Gaze over that left shoulder. Not only are twists good for the spine, they also are good for our digestive system. They also promote detox. It gives those internal organs a nice little massage. One more breath. Inhale, left arm up and over. Stretching. Stay for the inhale. And as you exhale, bringing the hand down to the opposite knee, rounding the spine, bringing the chin to the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, release the hands, arm options, hugging, forearms together, or full twist with palms together. Inhale the elbows up, lift the gaze, baby back bend in that spine. Think cat-cow spine here. And exhale, rounding the spine, dropping the chin to the chest. Stay for a breath. Inhale, rise up, release, spread the wings. Let's walk it out, coming into a tabletop position. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, untucking the toes, tops of the feet pressing into the mat. Do a few rounds of cat-cow, starting with our cow. Inhale, dropping the belly, opening the chest, lifting the gaze. Exhale, tucking the tail, dropping the crown of the head down, relaxing the neck. You can make this your own. Maybe you want to introduce side to side, maybe some barrel rolls, or a figure eight. I'm not really coordinated to do the figure eights, but maybe that is something that you can explore on your own. I actually really love the traditional cat-cow. It just feels really good on the spine. Again, we're moving it in all directions today. Let's take one more. And finding neutral spine. Send those right toes back, pressing down to the ball of the foot, sending all that energy down the back of the leg, feeling the stretch from the hip to the heel, maybe rocking forwards and back. Coming up to the tippy toe, stretching out the bottom of the foot. And finding stillness, kickstand the left shin out to the side, ground down through the right foot. Inhale, lifting the right arm up. Maybe the gaze follows. If the neck is not feeling good today, keep the gaze down or maybe out. Maybe it'd feel nice to bring the left ear to the left shoulder, letting the head hang, relax. And then this is your chance to explore what different options in this pose might feel nice. Maybe extending the arm out overhead, maybe lifting that leg, incorporating some movement, working out the obliques, maybe some arm movement, warming up that shoulder joint. It's important to stretch and strengthen the muscles around those joints to keep them safe. So you find what works best for you. in this modified side plank. And we'll stay for one more breath. And as you exhale, coming back into that tabletop, sending the left toes back, grounding down through the ball of the foot, squaring the hips, feeling that stretch from the hip all the way down to the heel, maybe rocking forwards and back, getting into the ball of the foot, giving that Achilles tendon a little love, and finding stillness. Kickstand the right shin out, ground down through the left foot. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. Maybe the gaze follows. Glutes engaged, gently pushing the hips forward. And then thinking about what you want out of this pose. Maybe your body is just craving stillness today. Or maybe it wants to explore what different options would feel like. You know, if we always do the same thing, we never know if we might like something else. So use this opportunity to explore what might feel nice in this modified side plank. Taking one more breath. As you exhale, returning to our tabletop position. Maybe doing a round of cat-cow. Maybe a child's pose would feel nice. Sitting back just for a moment. Stretching out the back, stretching out the hips, maybe rocking that side to side, pressing the fingertips into the earth. Let's rise up, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, coming into a downward facing dog. Maybe you want to alternate bending and straightening the legs. This is called walking the dog. Again, getting into the balls of those feet, stretching all the way up to the tippy toes. Maybe you want stillness, putting as much bend to the knees to maintain that straight spine. Fingertips pressing into the mat. Soft bend to the shoulders or soft bend to the elbows. And take the sweatshirt off. Think the hips going back to the spot in the wall where it meets the ceiling. So think chest and belly towards the thigh instead of the chest towards the ground. Belly button in for support. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, walk forward, coming to meet in a forward fold. Letting the head hang heavy, driving down through both feet, activating the legs. Noticing what that feels like as soon as you press down all four corners of each foot, of both feet. What activates in your leg? Is it the calves, the thighs, the hamstrings, the lower back, the glutes? Let's pull the belly button in, support that lower spine, and totally relax the neck. Our neck holds our heavy head up all day long. So let's go ahead and relax it while we have a moment. And one more breath. On the next inhale, let's come up to a halfway lift. Grab your blocks. Let's go ahead and use those in this halfway lift. Bringing the blocks underneath the shoulders. Slight bend to the knee. Think flat back. Reach the crown of the head out towards the front of your space to sit bones. Reaching back. Belly button pulls in. Engaging the back muscles. Still driving down through those feet. Hands can also be underneath the knees, on the shins. What feels comfortable for you? We'll stay here for one more breath. As you exhale, forward fold, drive down to the feet, bend the knees. We rise up nice and slow because we were upside down for a little while. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come to heart center and coming down to the outsides of the legs, coming into a mountain pose. Mountain pose, feet are under the knees, under the hips. There's soft bend to the knees, front ribs in and down. Let's go ahead and turn sideways. You can see tuck of the hips, front ribs in and down, shoulders up, back, sliding down the shoulder blades, crown of the head lifting up to the sky. Imagine somebody has a string on the top of the head and they're pulling it up, lengthening the spine. Ears tracking over the shoulders. Staying here for a moment. The arms resting to the sides. Maybe the palms are shining forward. Maybe you close your eyes for a moment and just feel this pose. What does it feel like when you press the feet into the earth, activating the legs? How does it feel when you inhale and find length in the spine? And exhale, ground down through the feet. The eyes are closed. Let's go ahead and open them again. Let's do a few rounds of half sun A, coming to the front of your mat. Inhale the arms up. Exhale to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, flat back. Pull the belly button in, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, rise up on an inhale. Hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, strong back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Taking one moment, catch your breath. Place all the weight into that right foot. Take a big step back or several small steps back. Coming into a warrior one. Front knee is bent. Back foot has about a 45-degree angle. If that does not feel comfortable on the heel, coming up on the ball of the foot in what's called a high lunge or a crescent might feel nice. That turns it more into a balance pose. So play around, explore, figure out which one you want. Arms can be up overhead, or you can continue with keeping the hands at heart space. So if we're in a warrior one, the hips and the chest shining forward, the arms overhead, palms facing each other. Breathing, thinking about what you can relax, what you can soften. Pressing down through the front foot and pulling it back. Pressing down and pulling forward with the front or the back foot, creating a scissor-like effect. A strong base, strong foundation. Inhale the arms forward, coming into Thunderbolt. You can stay here and build strength, or maybe you want to incorporate some movement. Reaching the arms forward. Exhale, palms go back. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, take it back. Inhale, we reach. Last one, exhale, palms go back. Inhale, opening up to a warrior two. Stop and take a look at the feet. The front foot, toes are pointing forward. The back foot is open to the long edge of the mat. The front heel will either intersect with the arch of the foot or the heel, pressing down through both feet. Our wings are spread out. Gaze over the front and middle finger, creating that scissor-like effect in the inner thighs. Belly button pulled in. Standing strong in our warrior two. And turning the head towards the long edge of the mat, rotating the palms up to the sky, pulling the shoulder blades back together, lifting the gaze. Feeling a nice stretch from collarbone to collarbone. One more breath. Exhale, return the palms down. Straighten through the front leg, reach it forward. So let's grab a block. Put it on the inside of that right ankle. Reach it forward, send these hips back, creating lots of space in the side body. When you can't reach any further, drop the hand. Bring the left arm up. Maybe the gaze follows. The palm is shining forward to the long edge of the mat. We're driving down through the right big toe. Soft bend to the knee, being mindful not to lock out the front leg. And think softness on the block, as if you don't need the block. All your strength is coming from the core and pressing down through the feet. Let's take a breath together. Inhale through the nose. Open the mouth side out. Inhale, pressing down to come up. Take a step forward with that back foot. Grab both of your blocks. We're going to set up for pyramid. Front toes tracking forward. We have a shorter stance. And think railroad tracks. The feet are at least hip width distance apart, maybe a little bit more to give those hips a little more room. The back foot is angled. Hands are on the hips. Inhale, lift out of the waist. To exhale, bring the chest forward, drive down through the big right toe and the left pinky side of the foot. Pulling the right hip back, reaching the crown of the head forward, keeping the head in line with the spine, belly button pulled in for support. You can stay here with the hands on the hips. You can bring them to the thigh, or you can bring them down to blocks. If you want to work on the muscles for the backs of the shoulders or the upper back, you can always spread your wings. We've been in this position before with the upper body. That's just a little different now that we're facing the earth. Squeezing the shoulder blades together and breathing. We'll take one more breath wherever you are with your arm placement. As you exhale, bend over that straight front leg. Let the head hang. Relax the neck. Moving the blocks to the front of your space. Take a step forward. Inhale, coming into chair. The feet can be underneath the hips or they can be together, squeezing the legs together. For me, I like it the feet under the hips. It gives me a little more stability. The hips are back over the heels. The toes are light. Hands can be at heart center. If you want to work on those shoulders, bring the arms out and up. Gaze is up at the fingertips or out in front. Here in the back, think about tucking the hips a little bit. taking the bend, the curve out of this lower spine and pulling these front ribs in and down, creating that abdomen lock. Option to stay here or put all your weight in the right foot, coming up on the ball of the left foot. Stay here or inhale and rise up, driving down through the right foot, lifting the leg. Toes can be pointed or flexed. This is flamingo, or some people refer to it as stork. Shoulders away from the ears, or maybe you want to bring those hands to heart center. Working on our balance, looking down and finding something that's not moving, called a drishti. Option to stay here, or maybe you want to explore what a warrior 3 might feel like in the body, kicking that left foot back. Foot is flexed, 5 toes pointing down towards the sky. Soft bend to that standing leg, freeing the hips a little so you can square the hips towards the ground. Think about shoulder blades pulling together. Maybe you want to spread the wings or reach out overhead, or keep the hands at heart center or down on blocks. Think crown of the head reaching forward and that left heel driving back. Take one more breath. And drop the left leg, shake it out. Give those legs a little march. All right, finding stillness. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, right foot back, left foot back into a plank, high plank. Stay here or drop down to the knees. You can also come down to the forearms. Whatever you choose, we're only going to be here for a little bit, working on that core. Belly button pulled in, hands under the shoulders, pressing down. Imagine you can push through the earth. Take one more breath. As you exhale, send those hips up and back for down dog. Connecting with the breath, driving down through the fingertips. Noticing if anything has changed between this down dog and the first one that you did. Let's inhale those heels high. Exhale, bend the knees. Walk forward, coming into a forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, rise up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. All of your weight into the left foot and taking a big step back with the right foot, or mini steps back. Doesn't matter how you get back there, as long as you get back there. Crescent or warrior 1. You pick, your choice. Arms can be inhaled up towards the sky. Hips and chest facing forward. Remember that scissor-like effect with the legs. Are you breathing? What can you soften? Can you soften the brow? Can you soften the shoulders and keep the arms strong? Inhale the arms out, reaching forward, staying here to build strength or incorporating that movement. reaching it forward, exhaling it back. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, send it back. Inhale it forward. Last one. Exhale the arms back. Inhale, opening up to warrior two. Driving down through the feet, taking a quick look at the feet, making sure they're in a line, adjusting whenever necessary. Belly button pulled in. Gentle tuck to the hips, creating that strong base. Shoulders over the hips. We're not rushing into the future. We're not being pulled into the past. We are stacked right here in the present moment where we're supposed to be. And turning the gaze, shining those palms to the sky, pulling the shoulder blades together, lifting the gaze. Still driving down through the feet. Returning the palms down. Straightening the front leg. Grab that block real quick. Put it on the inside of that left ankle. Reach, reach, reach. Hips go back. When you can't reach any further, keep that space and drop the arm. That arm might drop to a thigh, might drop to a shin. Maybe you drop to the floor. As long as you keep this space. Now this hip back here, they've always cued it or taught it to keep it pulled back. But not everybody's body is built like that. So if yours has to come forward and that feels more comfortable for you, do it. If it doesn't feel comfortable to have that arm reaching up to the sky, keep it on the hip. Explore. Find out what feels good in your body. But think lightness with this block. We're not dumping into the hand. We're driving down through the feet. One more breath. Inhale, pressing down with the feet. Take a step forward with that back foot. Coming into our pyramid pose. Taking a look at the feet. We're not on a tightrope. We're on railroad tracks. Hands on the hips. Lengthen through the spine. Leading with the chest. Reaching forward. Send the left hip back. Crown of the head reaching forward. Left sits bone pulling back. Driving down to the big left toe. And the right pinky edge of the foot. Keeping this active. Arms can stay on the hips, shins, thighs, blocks. If you're using blocks, the blocks are underneath the shoulders. Or spread those wings. Wherever you're at, pull the belly button in. Support that lower back. Drive down through the feet. Squeeze the back muscles. And take another breath. As you exhale, fold over the straight leg. Let the head hang. Relax the neck. Maybe shake it no, shake it yes. And bend through the front leg. Place the blocks at the front of your space. Take a step forward. Inhale, coming up to chair. Weight over the heels. Hips are back. Arms are either at heart space, they're extended out and up. What would it take to sink the hips a little lower and maintain that strong core, that straight spine? Maybe you want to take a block and put it in between the thighs and give it a gentle squeeze. I find that squeezing a block sometimes takes the pressure off that lower back. It engages different muscles. And removing the block, putting the blocks at the front of your space. Option to stay here, building strength, or place all the weight into the left foot, coming up on the ball of the right. Stay here or drive down through that left leg, lifting the right. Finding that spot on the floor that's not moving. Shoulders away from the ears, whether the arms are up or they're at heart space. If they're at heart space and you're pressing the palms together, you're still activating the front of the shoulders. So you get the same effect. Maybe exploring what a warrior 3 would look like on this side. You might find that one side is more cooperative than the other. If you wobble, if you fall out, come back. It's okay. Some days you'll be all over the place. Other days you might land it. It's kind of like high school and your best friends. One day y'all are best friends and the next day acting like you don't know each other. But play around, explore what hand option feels good for you. But keep the belly button pulled in, drive down to that standing leg. That helps build stability. Shoot energy back to that back heel, all 5 toes pointing down to the earth. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, come down, shake it out. We're almost done. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, left foot back, right foot back, high plank. On the knees or on the forearms, you pick. Press the earth away in whatever position you're in. Working on that abdomen, that core, reaching the head forward. And dropping the knees, elbows scraping the body, slowly come down. When you land, untucking the toes, maybe bending the knee and letting the feet sway side to side. And finding stillness with that. Just place the hands underneath the shoulders, untuck the toes, press all 10 toenails into the mat, tucking the hips. Chin is resting on the mat. As you inhale, lift the head, lift the chest, send the elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the chest for baby cobra, and breathe. What can you soften? Maybe exploring lifting up the hands, only if it doesn't compromise that lower back. And melt it down. Bend the knees, sway the feet side to side. An option to get into the shoulders a little bit more. This tree hugging position. Tee the arms out. Also called this broken wing. I don't know if I like that name though. Let's go ahead and bend the right arm, shoulder, or the hand under the right shoulder. Legs are straight. Pushing with that right hand. Bringing her right foot behind the left knee, in front of the left knee, or keeping the leg stacked on top of each other. The head resting on the earth. That left arm is extended out. It is no higher than shoulder height, so keep it at or below shoulder height. And breathe. stretching into the front of that left shoulder. If you press the left palm into the earth, it activates the arm. If at any point you feel pain, get out of it. There should never be pain in yoga. Discomfort, yes, but never pain. All right, one more breath. And bring that back to center, extending the arms out, hugging our tree. We'll take that on the other side. So bending the left arm and twisting the body to the right. Again, the foot can come in front of the leg, can stay on top of the leg, or bent and come behind the leg. This right arm is extended out, either below or at shoulder height. You don't want it higher. For my super bendy people, maybe cactusing this right arm. You won't find me cactusing it. And just breathing. And if you press into this right palm, it really activates this right arm. And trying to breathe into it, relaxing, telling the body we're okay, we're safe. All right, one more breath. And coming back to center, pushing up to a tabletop position. Maybe doing a round of cat-cow or sending the hips back slightly and rocking side to side. Maybe a child's pose would feel nice here. Maybe that bothers the hips and the knees, so coming into a puppy. Puppy pose is great for stretching the shoulders, the armpits. We're going to come into a seated position. So grab a block or something that represents a block. And putting it on the lowest height, turn this way, lengthwise to the ankles, flexing the feet, taking a belt or a strap to come around the feet, bending the knees as much as you need to maintain a straight spine. And sitting here, the block is going to keep the legs and the feet from rolling inward. So toes up to the sky, legs straight, spine straight. If having a straight leg makes the back round, then bending the legs and having the straight spine is more ideal. But we've got the strap in both hands and we're gently pulling, activating the biceps, activating the front of the shoulders. And we're breathing. Think crown of the head towards the sky, lengthening the spine on an inhale. And as you exhale, really grounding down through the heels, through the sits bones. Actually feels better with my legs bent. To alternate straightening and bending. Maybe that will help loosen up the hamstrings. Play around with it. What works for you? Take one more breath. Release the strap. Tent the fingertips just behind the hips. Press down through the arms and the fingertips. Open the chest, lift the gaze. Let's inhale, fingertips to the sky. As you exhale, reach forward, bending from the hips, shoulders away from the ears, the arms reaching out and up, shoulder blades pulling together. Legs bent, legs straight, but the spine is straight. Think sticking the booty back. Belly button pulled in, supporting the lower back, dropping the arms at any point. And inhale to come out. Exhale, arms come down, tent the fingertips, press down, lifting gaze, opening the chest. We're going to come down to our back, moving the strap out of the way, keeping the block handy in case you want to take a supported bridge, coming down to the mat, letting the spine imprint, maybe rocking the knees side to side for a windshield wiper action, releasing that lower spine. It's always good to do counter poses, so opposite of what we've done to release, especially the lower back. All right, let's find stillness. Legs are bent, arms alongside the body. Inhale, lifting the hips, pressing down and forward with the feet, sending the chest towards the chin, no pressure in the neck. Knees are no more than hip-width distance apart, maybe sliding that block under the hips for a supported bridge. We're not dumping our weight onto the block, we're just using it for support. Our legs and arms, shoulders still active. Stay here for a couple of breaths. And inhale, press down with the feet, move that block if you're using it. Slowly come down, maybe rock the knees side to side, allowing that back to release once more. Taking the block, you can set up for supported bridge again, or take the block lengthwise, put it between the thighs, kind of like we did in that chair pose. A gentle squeeze to the block, feet close to the body. Inhale, press down and forward with the feet, lift the hips. Maybe grabbing the edges of your mat and pulling, getting a little more height out of this, or taking the shoulders and rolling them down towards the mat, opening the chest. Still pressing down through the shoulders, the feet, no pressure in the neck. Giving that block a little squeeze. Tucking the tail, creating some space in the lower spine, and breathing. What can you soften? And staying here for another round of breath. Inhale. Let's lift the hips, and as we exhale, slowly lower down. Noticing if that feels any different on the knees. Sometimes if the knees get a little cranky, coming up on the heels, or coming up on the balls of the feet and lowering down, sometimes feels nice. All right, moving that block out of the way. Let's pull both knees in towards the chest. And let's work a little more on the core. This is called cherry picker. We start out in a waterfall, legs extended to the sky. Don't have to be straight, your version of straight. I don't think my legs will ever be straight. The feet are flexed, soles of the feet shining up to the sky, belly button pulled in. We inhale and exhale. Lift the head, lift the arms, and alternate, touching the opposite foot with the opposite hand. So we inhale through center, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, reach, inhale, come through center, exhale, reach. The belly button is pulled in, the core is activated. And if you wanted to make this a little more challenging, you could take that block and put it on one of your feet. And use a soft block because it will fall. All right, we're going to keep that movement going. Working on those shoulders, working on the abs. Picking our cherries. Maybe touching the foot, maybe not. If I bend my knees, I can touch my feet, but I have short arms, so it's okay. Meeting my body where it is today. No judgment, just observing. All right, last one. And let's come down. Let's pull the knees into the chest, rock side to side. Relax, wrap yourself up in love, compassion, forgiveness, acceptance, and a whole lot of gratitude. And setting up for Shavasana, the most important pose of your practice. It allows you to settle back in, connect the mind and the body, using that breath as a bridge to do so. Maybe you want to start out like you did in the beginning with the legs bent, constructive rest pose coming together, hand on the belly, hand on the heart. Bringing your attention and awareness back to that breath. Let's take an inhale together, pull it in through the nose. Open the mouth, release. One more. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And continuing to breathe on your own. Maybe dropping the hands down alongside the body. Maybe extending the legs out if that feels comfortable on the back. Feeling the support of the earth holding you, providing you with stability, strength. Maybe closing the eyes and working on that breath, that vital component to our foundation that we can use on or off the mat. And finding stillness. And if you can stay here longer, I invite you to do so. But if you have to get going like I do, start waking the body up. Maybe a full body stretch, hands overhead, pointing the toes before pulling the knees in one at a time towards the chest. Rolling to a side, and pressing yourself up. Coming to a seated position. Legs can be crossed, straight out in front. Maybe keeping the eyes closed, having a soft gaze down. Lengthen the spine. Bringing the hands to heart center. And bringing the head down towards the chest, bowing into your practice. I hope the rest of the day brings you peace, love, and blessings. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me, your energy with me, and most importantly, thank you for spending your time with me. Namaste.